Welcome to Casual Swinger. If you're under 18, the following podcast is not appropriate for you. The subjects and language are for mature audiences only. If you're not mature in nature, just make sure you're old enough to vote. We don't take ourselves seriously, ever. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any opinions or statements made on this podcast, our website, or our blog. It's all in fun, folks. This isn't Dr. Phil. Now, consider yourself, the listener, properly advised. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Casual Swinger. I'm Mallory.
I am Mickey.
And again, we miss you guys.
Yeah, we've gotten to be pretty good at being late getting these out during quarantine, haven't we?
Yeah, I think it's because every day's like what?
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Wake up. Hair's longer.
Uh-huh.
Should I bathe?
Same faces, same places.
Right? It's go outside, greet the dog. The dog runs up, sniffs my nuts, says, "You really should shower." I'm like, okay. If the dog thinks I should shower, it's probably time.
I've actually added that to my calendar like every other day, making sure you guys have showered.
Hey, the kids are way worse than I am.
Anyway.
So, yeah, this is Groundhog Day. This is season 2, episode 21. We're coming up on the end of our second season of Casual Swinger.
Yeah, we are. I mean,
arbitrary as shit in terms of
it's so arbitrary. I still don't understand why you cut it off at 22 episodes, but
you know, it seemed appropriate.
It had something to do with Viagra. That's all I remember.
That's something. Phony bonies, all that stuff. But, you know, just kind of getting into the intro here. So what is this episode about? It really is just kind of talking about what's up. I know a lot of people are doing a lot of interviews right now out there, and we've got interviews on our mind, but just something's weird. I
think we're all in our mental and emotional spaces. We're a little off, right? Maybe we're a little bit in crisis mode. Maybe, you know, work has ticked up for us a bit and we're blessed enough to be working.
Yeah.
But I haven't really been in a sexy headspace. So there's that as well.
Yeah. And I wrote that story for ASN and that just put me in the biggest funk. I think that didn't help matters.
No.
Like doing all the research and learning and hearing about the healthcare people that were struggling. I mean, it really put me in a bad place. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally get that. I completely understand. This is not something I think anyone ever anticipated seeing in their lifetime.
Well,
so
I know it's been a couple weeks, but I mean, this is the intro. So let's dig into what's going on.
Yeah. What are we doing? Where are we going?
Nowhere. What's going on?
We're still on lockdown.
We're not doing a fucking thing. We're doing nothing.
Yeah, but
Florida's going to open a little.
A little bit. Yeah. Go us at your own risk state.
I don't think we're free to have sex. We can just inflate a condom and smack it toward a person and tell them to stick it in.
Right on.
I think that's what we can do. Just here, stick this in your pussy and see if you like it. It's semi-inflated. Sorry. Tell me something dirty. Maybe it'll get harder.
Oh my gosh, you're just too much.
But it's not entirely true. I mean, we have rebooked August.
Exactly. That's Nashville. What I was trying to say before you got all silly on me.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all good. I think we're trying to look forward to, you know, the fall and late summer and get those trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know I have a margarita?
I do see the I'm a little jealous. I did not bring a drinky in with me.
I have a margarita.
So we have August is Nashville and the film party.
Yeah, well, so yeah, August is going to be kind of crazy, and I really hope it doesn't get fucked up. I hope that Ohio pulls its stuff together by then. You know, we had this whole thing booked with Double Date Nation and Our Naughty Escapades, and I believe Sapphic was going to try and come in and
Double Date Nation.
Yeah, well, I said that already.
Oh,
but
just kidding.
You know, there's just
Euphoria
Chronicles. We were all going to try and get together in Nashville, which is such a cool city. We were going to do this back at the beginning of April, and of course now it's all screwed up. So we've moved it to August 6th through the 9th, I think. It's on our website.
Yeah.
7th through the 9th.
Yeah, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mm-hmm.
Right, so same hotel. It's the Millennium Maxwell House. It's all on our website. It's got the information. You can click on the hotel. You can book your hotel room. Just make sure that you do join up with Menages beforehand, because if you show up and you're not a member, you're not going to be able to get in. So if you want to do this Menages thing with a bunch of podcasters, I believe that Ray and Dee were calling this podcaster Shenanigans. So
nice.
2.0. And then, of course, the Foam Party in Toledo. We're going to do that, which is going to be fun.
Yeah. And then we'll have Podcast Palooza in October.
Oh, that's right. Podcast Palooza moves to October. And, honestly, I think that's going to go down. By October, South Florida is going to be back to normal. And this thing's going to be badass. And, we've got a little more room now. We've got a little more room to run. There's some more rooms available. So check that out at podcast-a-palooza.com.
Whoop, whoop.
Right?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think stuff will start shifting here soon, and we have to operate as if, everything is going to go smoothly second half of the year and adapt if anything changes.
Yeah, you got to get me out of this fucking house before something scary happens.
Who are you telling?
Just saying.
I've been stuck in the house with you.
We're going to have a Shining episode
Do
right here in this studio.
Do not make me fight you live on the air.
That's right. Come at me, bro. But yeah, so Hito in November, that is still on. This is going to be one of our largest Novembers ever.
That's right. So that our week in November booked out within 3 months. So with everything going on, they added a second week to the end of the trip. So there's actually 2 trips.
We sold out our November trip before 2020 even started.
Yeah, it was insane. Like I said, less than 3 months and everything was booked. So we're really excited that Jim and Rachel and the Rascals are doing that. It's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be awesome. And, there's going to be a ton of folks from Club FA coming out.
That's right.
Which is going to be super neat. But we've also got just this whole thing kind of happened because originally that was our week, right?
Right.
And Young Swingers Week booked the whole thing. They took the whole resort that week and they kicked us out. So it was us and Dirty Pervs in the week before. And now, since Young Swingers Week canceled for the rest of the year, that week's open again. So we said, what the hell? Let's go ahead and book a second week. Go crazy.
Yep, because we had a lot of our May folks with, everything going on.
Yeah, all these cancellations.
Canceled,
let's do it.
Right. So now we have 2 weeks in November and then February 2021.
Yeah. So if you want to book with Casual Swinger and go with the Rascals, you can go to our travel page, which is at www.casualswinger.com, and come click on Travel with Us, and you'll get an email back from Jim with the Rascals. We have nothing to do with it. It's just one of those things where we host for those guys. We have a great time. If you want to come party with us, it's not going to save you any money to go with us or not go with us. You just get to party with my beautiful wife and my dumb ass.
It is a great time.
So what else is on our calendar right now?
Washing our hands.
Looking out the window.
The fucking dishes every day.
Where did all those dishes come from?
I don't know, but I'm gonna start to police that shit because it's annoying. Like I go to bed, sink's empty. Wake up, there's fucking shit in there.
I blame the dogs.
And I don't know why. Like normally stuff like that wouldn't get to me, but I have a tick over it.
Right. Well, I see somebody walking by, put a glass in the sink, and then go to the cupboard and get another glass to get something else to drink, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Police that shit, man.
I am. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on right here? And
go outside and use a hose.
Well, I'm getting something different. And I'm like, no. You wash that motherfucker and you put something else in it. I will put you on the streets. Right? I will throw you out. You will live under an overpass, you crotch goblin. Get out of my house. I know you're only 16, but fuck you. Hey, we've been drinking. We've definitely been doing some drinking. Have you seen all the dead soldiers?
Oh, I'm so embarrassed by our recycling bin, but I felt better because I watched the neighbor take theirs out and it accidentally spilled. And I'm like, oh no. And I ran over to help and I didn't get there in time, but I did see how many bottles they had. And I'm like, my people.
You know what else made me feel good? They drink cheap booze.
Oh, I drink cheap booze.
Yeah, sometimes. If it's all that's available.
Whatever.
I drink my booze most of the time, and it's not cheap.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know what else we've been doing? We're watching my hair grow.
Your hair is spectacular. I've never seen you with long hair before. Kind of digging it.
This is weird. I think this is why you need a boyfriend, because you really like the strange aspect of it. You're like, look at me while you're banging me with your chia pet hair.
Can I tell them what we did?
I don't fucking care. Go ahead.
So,
it's our show.
Miggy's hair is usually very short, like high and tight, very, very short. And it's grown out. It's probably 3.5, 4 inches long. Longest I've ever seen his hair. I've only seen it longer in pictures.
You know why I married you? Because you think this is 4 inches. I love it.
Whatever. So we had this crazy idea. Actually, you had the crazy idea that you wanted to dye your hair a funky color because it's just going to get cut anyways, right? At some point, we'll shave your head, whatnot. So I'm like, well, you have dark hair. You have to bleach it first. You have to lift your natural color for like color to stick. And we bleached it, and he looks like Slim Shady.
You got to lose yourself.
So, like, I woke up this
I'm not a
morning and
rapper.
rolled over.
I'm a condom rapper.
I rolled over. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, that's mine.
I know. I am, after the second bleach round, I am blonde as shit. It's ridiculous.
You look like Children of the Corn. I'm going to start calling you Malachi.
Oh, sweet. I can't wait. Where's Brother Jebediah? It is so bad, and it's so long, and I have so much hair. So most of my friends actually get kind of twisted with me because I do shave my hair so short. But I have, and this is a fun fact for everybody out there, a little casual swinger fun fact for you, I have a huge head.
Like, fitted hats sized are about 1/8 and 1/8. Yeah.
I wear a massive hat. I wear a hat that could double as a trap for wild animals, a 5-gallon bucket. I have a ginormous fucking dome. And when my hair grows out, it's just, it's worth, look at me. I'm filling out these headphones. It's
like,
it's
I can't see the top of your headphones because your hair is covering it.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to
so
dye it a
bad.
funky color, but it was really cool when we had all the goop on there because like it kind of slicked down and I had it like all styled and you saw it. Like I totally freaked out.
Oh,
I was like, holy shit, this is kind of hot.
you did. You were like, it's like I'm fucking a different dude right
I
now.
know.
And I'm like, well, how's that different in our lives? But okay. No, seriously, it's, and I kind of feel better about it now. Like it was something I did start as a gag. But our oldest, we have 2 adult children, and one of the adult children still lives with us. And she screwed her hair up royally.
I feel like such an asshole.
She looks like a
parent.
Duracell battery right now.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel so much better that my hair is going to be so ridiculous because I think it'll make her feel
I think
better.
it will make her feel better. And I wanted to be nice, but she didn't want any help or advice, and she had virgin hair, which means it's never been dyed before. And it's beautiful and it's blonde, and people pay a fuck ton of money to have that, right? But she wanted something different. Totally get it. And the first round didn't turn out exactly like she liked it. So she figured a second round would make it better. And the second round, she walked downstairs and I held it together. But she had it braided and I was like, it's fucking Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, see, I was going to break into one of the songs from Brave.
Yeah.
But I just don't know any of them off the top of my head. They just weren't as catchy as Let It Go.
Oh my gosh. I did crack the joke about getting a coat hanger and fixating it to the top of her head, and I can braid it around it so that she could mold it to her liking. And she looked at me kind of confused. I was like, you'll get it here eventually. It'll take you some time. Your blonde roots are still there.
Coat hangers are proof that we're still related to monkeys on some level because I use it as like the universal tool in the garage. I use it for fishing wire. I use it for like, unlocking cars. I've used coat hangers for so many things. It's crazy. And you were going to use it to solve a hair problem.
No, mock our children.
Oh, well, that's easy to do. I mock our kids all the time. It's like my second favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. Now, the last thing, what have we been doing? The last thing, actually, I think we've kind of gone over a hump, right, in the last couple of days.
Speaking of hump.
So, hey, did you like my choice of words?
Oh, my gosh. So I finally got sex after years and years and years of waiting. I was about to just submit my application to the nunnery.
Whatever. Or make a phone call. I mean,
No, I abide by social distancing. No.
you could social distance doggy style.
No, that's not 6 feet.
Depends on the guy.
Touching. No. Mm-mm.
No.
I
Okay.
mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fantasizing about it every now and then, but
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that a little bit in our main segment, right? About just kind of the challenges that people have been having. And that really is what this episode about is in Groundhog Day is just kind of catching up on our challenges. But before we get into that, let's remind you guys, because businesses around this country are suffering right now. If you have an opportunity to help somebody that has been closed, and we're talking about your barber, your bartender, your waiter, your waitress, wherever your favorite haunt is, find out what their PayPal is and hook them up a little bit. They are struggling hard. We are 1 in 6 in this country in unemployment right now. That's 15% of this country. In Central Florida, it's 1 in 4. So we have a huge loss of jobs. And I'll tell you what, that's been weighing on me. It's part of what's going on. But the reason I mention that is that Casual Toys, which is our small business, has been closed.
Yes.
It's been closed for a while. And, we're relaunching this business for the third fucking time. And why? The first time was because the banks shut us down. Mm-hmm. And then we were 60 days trying to get all that sorted out, which really infuriated me. But this last time has been because of COVID, and all of our warehouses were closed because there was no one to ship stuff.
Right.
So now we're open again. We're shipping a little slow, which kind of hurts. But hey, everybody that placed orders during the shutdown, what do we say to those guys?
Thank you so much for your support.
Very, very, very much. From the bottom of my cold black heart, I thank you for supporting us. Cold black heart on. But we wanted to give you something back from Casual Toys.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this podcast right now, or you follow us on Twitter, we're going to do a little contest for you guys. Send us your funniest sex toy story or bedroom story to podcast@casualswinger.com. I'm going to say that one more time. Send us your funniest bedroom or sex toy story, preferably sex toy story, to podcast@casualswinger.com. We will read our favorites on the air during the next episode of Casual Swinger.
Yes, so feel free to use pseudonyms, whatever, protect the innocent, protect the guilty, but we want to hear your funny stories that involve sex toys. We'll read some of ours, and then we'll read yours.
Yes, so make up everything but the story. So you make up your name, you can make up, what color her butthole hair was. I don't care. Just go ahead and send us that information. And
what do they win?
What do they win? If we read your story on the air, you win a $50 Casual Toys gift card.
Whoop, whoop. That buys a decent amount.
$50 bucks. I can say 50 because I got M&M hair.
Oh no.
No? Is that bad? Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't hit the button.
I was gonna hit a button.
For the love of our marriage, do not hit any buttons.
Okay, no buttons. But alrighty then. So hey, you know what? We're gonna come back here in a minute. We're gonna grab another margarita because I want one, and it's quarantine.
I want a drink. I didn't realize we were doing drinking.
Whatever. It's that time of day. It's 5:00
somewhere
in Asia.
Doesn't matter. It's quarantine. We can drink whatever we want.
Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find us? We'll come back and we're gonna talk about Groundhog Day.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for listening. You can find us as Casual Swinger everywhere. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also find our profiles on Double Date Nation, Cassidy, SLS, SDC, and Quiver. And if you want to reach out, have questions, podcast@casualswinger.com.
Yeah, leave us a review on iTunes. Tell people how sexy my wife sounds and what a dumbass I am. That works for me.
You're a dork.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a minute to talk more Groundhog Day. You've been listening to Casual Swinger. Hey everybody, welcome back to Casual Swinger. I'm still Mickey.
And I'm Mallory.
And without further ado, I have another margarita, and it's time to continue with Groundhog Day.
And I decided to partake as well. What the hell? I can't beat him, join him.
Oh.
Spousal abuse is frowned upon.
Yeah, last I heard. I don't know. I keep getting my ass kicked. I wouldn't really fuck with you.
What?
You're a badass.
I am?
You are.
Since when?
Because you're like, what's the word for it? Scrappy? You're scrappy.
Okay. We're not going to talk about that.
That one girl at the concert.
Oh, must you.
All right, I guess we're not going to tell that story. What are we going to talk about in Groundhog Day? What do we do every day?
The same.
Trying to take over the world.
All right, Pinky.
I'm the brain.
No, definitely. I love you. You're the good looking one.
Oh, all right. Is Pinky good looking? I'll be Pinky. Hey.
No, I just kind of wanted to talk about like how we've been since all of this quarantine crisis mode started happening and just get it out there.
Well, and you know what's funny? Like we've gotten messages from friends and listeners, and you know what? At this point, we've been doing this a little while now. I really don't kind of draw much of a distinction. They're all friends.
Right.
They are. I mean, if you sit down and you listen to us on a regular basis, chances are, we're friendly. So you've sent us a message. We've said, hey, and we actually give a shit, right? If everybody's okay. And we've tried to ask. We've done a few, kind of Zoom meetings. And
yeah, early on, we definitely, we did a few of those.
We did until my hair started to grow and I dug myself into a hole.
Well, I think in this situation, we both compartmentalize. We do
Differently.
it very differently, but we both do it. You know, mine, I can silo, lock it in a box and put it away, but I still have to unpack it at some point. And
See, I don't. I just forget about it. Throw it away. I'm like, bye-bye.
no, you think you do. You store it. There, you put it in a container, you lock it up, but you still have that key.
Mm-hmm.
And the keychain gets a little fuller and heavier, and
So someone makes me angry in a line at a grocery store.
Yeah, it makes you grouchy, and then all of a sudden you're like, why the fuck do I have all these keys?
Oh, maybe that's so. But here's the difference, right? So as a guy, first of all, I do have this gigantic head, and it's kind of one of those. Everybody's kind of got a thing, right? Like maybe somebody's got like an extra toe, or one boob's bigger than the other, or one leg's longer than the other. Everybody's got a thing about themselves that they just kind of secretly kind of harp on internally. And mine is the size of my head. I have a gigantic head, and it's always been something that people have kind of made fun of me for. And as you know, when I got older and I started cutting my hair really short, it made it a little less obvious. So as my hair has grown out over the course of this quarantine, I am fucking terrified for anyone to see it.
You really are. Like, you fell asleep with your hat on a couple nights.
I did.
And
I didn't want you to see it.
I know. And I can't understand it, but I can appreciate that you're struggling with something, and I'm not going to openly mock you for it. I get it. I don't see what you see, but it's little things like that that get inside our head, especially since we're forced to deal with it, right? We're stuck in a house. We've been stuck in a house for 6 weeks now.
Yeah, we have. And some of our friends and listeners have asked, hey, how are you guys doing? And, you know, what's going on and what's coming up? And is there anything we can look forward to? And can you do an episode? And we have episodes in the can. We have really fun, exciting, cool episodes.
Wonderful
about
episodes.
lifestyle stuff. But we don't want to release them right now because people are out of work. People aren't feeling sexy. And we've been quiet.
Yeah, it feels a little selfish. It feels a little inappropriate right now and maybe we're wrong. Maybe that's just something that we're harboring on our end. I don't know.
I know that some of the other content creators, like Monogamish, for example, a blogger out there that we love, they actually released a poll, and they asked people about, you know, are you having less sex? Are you having more sex? Has nothing changed? And it was kind of even, but less sex was the winner by a good bit. 49%, I think, was the end.
Yeah.
So it is definitely something that's happening out there. I think initially everybody's like, woo, we're home, we're going to bang, we're going to buy a bunch of sex toys. By the way, thank you for all those purchases. But as things went on, I think fear set in. Fear of losing your job, fear of going hungry, fear of your kids getting sick, fear of your parents, your grandparents getting sick.
Right. As time went on, I mean, I see a lot of people taking the severity and the gravity of the situation very seriously and, you know, being respectful and doing the right thing, socially speaking. But you're right. I think that innate fear, whether it was outwardly presented or inwardly digesting, was there. And that's some of the influence, right?
Yeah. And it could be apprehension. It could be trepidation. There are a lot of things that can be associated with legitimate fear.
Yeah, I'm raising my hand over here. It's same thing here. Usually my libido is planetary. Like I always want the sex.
She does, guys. Seriously.
But in the last 3-4 weeks, it's been top of mind because I haven't wanted it, and I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with me.
Well, who gets horny during a horror movie? Right?
That's true.
And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a socioeconomic horror movie, and maybe even a political horror movie, and there's so many things that we don't know. Well, and I think that leads us to going to bed worried, waking up worried. You might still have morning wood, but I don't know that you feel like you can get there, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think with everything going on, we're a captive audience right now to our own reality show.
That's the last fucking thing we needed, is to be a captive audience for America's news media.
Well, we don't have any other outlets. A lot of people are confined to their homes, and, you know, going to the gym is not an option. Going to the movies is not an option, and going to the beach is not an option. And the things we were accustomed to doing to get some release or some sanity, it's just not available. So it's understandable. And when you occupy that too much space in your own head, it can be counterproductive as well.
Yeah, I think we're better off watching fucking Benny Hill than we are watching CNN or Fox News. So, just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But, I just feel like you went from straight up Energizer Bunny to a nun, and I just don't feel really engaged. I know the last couple of days we're trying to be, because I absolutely love banging you. You're the hottest thing in the universe to me.
Oh.
And I feel like I should want to be happy. And I know that we still have jobs, which I'm incredibly grateful for. But I see what's going on social media. I see people attacking each other all over the place. And I'm not one of those super squishy people, guys. Those of you that know me personally know I'm not.
I'm the squishy one.
You are.
Yeah.
But I still see people being fucking awful to each other. And eventually, I don't care how hard you are. And I'm not saying that I'm like one of those Green Beret hard bastards or anything. But I'm still, fairly bulletproof when it comes to emotions. And it bugs me. It bugs me when people are treating each other like shit.
Yeah, it makes you angry and it makes me sad. Right?
It really does.
Yeah.
And I think that's been messing with me. And I think it's kind of brought us down. It's made me not want to podcast. It's made me not want to tell everybody something that I don't think is positive. I like saying positive things to the lifestyle community.
Well, and we committed to that when we decided that we wanted to start podcasting, is that this is going to highlight, sex positivity. We're not going to put, anything negative or our drama out there. We love the fun side of life. There's plenty of bad stuff going on in the world. And if we can find those pieces of happiness and fun that we can share with people, even if it's just one person that it inspires or makes their day better, that's all we need.
Yeah.
That fills my cup.
I got to give a shout out real quick to Jay from Average Swingers.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
Jay and Angie, we love them to death, and we have actually talked to them a good bit, and we haven't really talked about it. But their last episode that he called "I'm a Fraud" was so raw and so personal and so real, and it actually made me feel better about releasing this episode, if I'm being honest, because I didn't want to do this. But I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I am not okay. And I'm not okay because I don't have a job. I'm not okay because my wife and I aren't getting along. We are. I'm not okay because my kids are sick, because they're not. I'm not okay because I'm just tired of seeing people treat each other like shit, and it's getting to me.
I think it's okay to not be okay. And I echo what you said. Jay made himself completely vulnerable. He was very honest, and that, to me, that's inspiring, and that's tough to do, especially to an audience you can't see, touch, or really hear, unless obviously they're sending messages. But it's a difficult position to be in, and I think you beat yourself up, and it's compounded because you're like, I should be okay, and I'm not okay, and you haven't accepted that not being okay is actually just fine. It's normal. You have to go through the motions. Denying it isn't doing you any service.
No. And I think the thing that I'm personally the most scared of is that somebody else that's not okay is going to take out their not okay on somebody else that's also not okay. And I'm going to react badly, because that's where I tend to intervene, is when I see somebody that isn't supposed to be getting their ass handed to them, getting it from somebody. I'm like, okay, fine. You want to pick on somebody? I'm your Huckleberry. Let's do this. And
my hero complex, gentlemen.
I'm going to put myself in that situation, and I shouldn't. And I'm going to ruin their day, and I'm going to ruin It's just I'm scared of what's going on out there right now, and it is affecting us at home, or at least it has been. It has been for months. And when we talk about our relationship, I've seen this going on. Mallory and I have been together going on 14 years. And it's something I can tell you about Mallory is, if something's going on, whether it's work, travel, or stress, or kids, or whatever, and it keeps us from having a regular sex life, she gets mad.
Oh, yeah. I raised the red flag. And
red flag? You raised the fucking megaphone. You're like, oh, I'm pissed. So mad.
So I can tell you exactly where that comes from. And it took this situation to kind of pull back the curtain for me. Is I had this epiphany that I associated intimacy directly with sex. Not all of it, but a good majority stockholder of that. So when we're not having regular sex, somehow my psyche starts to twitch, and it tells me that the universe is no longer okay, because the level of intimacy in that environment that I need, or that I tell myself I need is not being fulfilled. And so, of course, like a regular human, I go to the external source and go, what the fuck?
Why aren't you climbing on top of me in the middle of the...
Didn't you see me like in my booty shorts bending all over and rubbing up on you?
No, I was hanging drywall. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's like a cat in heat. I'm sorry about that.
Meow.
Meow.
There went the dog. But, I get it. I mean, I really do. And I know that's a thing. And honestly, it's something that I'm not going to say I live in fear of it, but I live in acknowledgement of your sex drive. And I know that if you don't get yours on a fairly regular basis, no matter what's going on in my world, it's time to suck it up, buttercup, and take care of mama. Because if you don't, you're going to regret it.
So,
and I'm good with that.
Thank you so much for doing that for me. And I know it's hard to get into that mental space if you're not already there. So the fact that you want to do it alone means the world to me. This is going to be part of my development, I think, over the next year is there other facets of what I quantify as intimacy that maybe I'm not focusing on enough to fill my cup.
Well, hey, I started doing dishes.
Hot as fuck.
Hotter than my blonde hair, really?
Oh, it's a tie. They're both really, really good.
So I feel like we've kind of covered it, right? I mean, yes, it's been a little hard. It's been hard to want a podcast. It's been hard to stay intimate.
Yeah.
It's been hard to stay connected to our lifestyle friends.
It is, because it's this perpetual feeling of being in limbo. And I was going to insert some sort of like Star Wars carbonite joke here, and it's just not coming to me. But it does. It feels like Groundhog Day. You're frozen in time. So like when we have these wonderful friends that reach out and want to engage, it's like, I am the same as I was 4 weeks ago. I don't have anything productive to say. I don't even have any new jokes.
I don't get to see you. I don't get to hug you. Right? I mean, Ray and Dee talked about this in their show, and God love them for everything they have going on. They made time to podcast. That was the other thing that got me off my ass was Ray and Dee. They're buying and selling a house right now, tearing down drywall, remodeling a house, and they still made time to fucking podcast.
Fucking hey, dude. They're my heroes.
I was like, yeah, it's time. Yeah. And by the way, guys, I will tell you this. The only reason we are late right now is me. Mallory's been bugging me for 2-3 weeks now. Like, hey, let's get something down. And we were going to talk about this always. This is always the subject we were going to do. I've just been kind of a shit about it. And that's that. And so there's me laying, dying on my sword for you guys. Let's talk about something more positive. Let's get into something more
fun. I love this. So things we've been making note of and that I've enjoyed seeing out there are people adapting to this environment and providing some joy or fun in a community setting, like whether it's lifestyle or non-lifestyle. Like we had, what was it, iOS Connections?
Those guys are having so much fun right now.
They're having a great time. I think this is like their 3rd or 4th week. They've been doing a live cast DJ party on like 1 or 2 different platforms. And something that made me smile ear to ear was listening to music, and they have the UV lights on, and then all of a sudden here comes Heather, and Heather has one of the biggest smiles I've ever seen in my life, and she's just fucking grooving and shaking and waving at the camera. I mean, you felt like you were there. It was so much fun.
It takes a special, God, I always call them special, and I know it comes out sounding like maybe I don't mean it in a positive way, but I really do. They love their friends and their people so much that they actually took a room in their house, set up Jason's DJ gear, and just like completely jammed, like played music and danced in front of the camera and just had at it like they don't give a fuck.
It's so good.
It's so cool.
And she's been giving like cooking lessons, I guess, online too.
Oh yeah, Cooking with Heather. That's on Fridays.
Yes. But it's so creative, and it's just so nice, even if it's not like something everyone's into, just to see people doing that kind of stuff. The watch parties that are live, vanilla and lifestyle.
Well, yeah. So I think, we've been talking about just having them on the show just to chat as friends. And I think we probably will have them on to let them tell their own story. But, this is the kind of stuff that's happening out there, right? We've had a couple of game nights for some content creators and some Rachel's Rascals for our rascal friends out there. Hey, you sexy bastards.
Yeah. Oh, and those guys are doing like a virtual trip, right? For the May group. So they're putting together, so all the folks, really all rascals, I believe, are going to be involved or included in this. They're going to do every day something a little different.
whether it's a theme night, game, they're going to give out prizes.
I think some of those prizes are going to be casual toys prizes. So it's going to be really cool. We're really excited because I think, this is the first, and for me, Jim and Rachel, their May trip has always been about their anniversary. That's what it is. It's their anniversary trip. They went to Hito to celebrate their anniversary. It wasn't a Rascal trip. It was just them going to Hito together.
Yep.
And it turned into a Rascal trip. And so now this is the first time since they've been married, they will not be at Hito on their anniversary. So they're going to do a virtual Hito trip this week.
Again, just something wonderful to see
in May,
right? And there was also, we saw 3 or 4 different virtual lifestyle parties.
Yeah.
Right.
Tom and Bunny did one, and a few other folks did.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff to me is so just overwhelmingly positive that they're still trying to bring people together. And I know that we can't be the only ones that are feeling a little off.
Now,
that people are still showing up and still doing it.
Yep. I agree. That. I think it's amazing. I applaud you guys. We're going to get our heads out of our asses. No, seriously, we do. We have to look at the bright side. We have to look for the positive. The positive isn't just going to fall in our lap, right?
Yeah. So what about like some of these group chats? Because we've done a few of them with our friends, and then there's been these Zoom parties. Zoom is really cool. Zoom has a lot of really neat features. But what I will tell folks as an IT professional, some of you know that I'm an IT guy, don't get naked on Zoom would be my recommendation to you. Anything else is probably fine. They don't really care what you're saying, but there's no guarantee that your data is safe on Zoom just yet. If you want to do that sort of thing, there are other platforms. Google Meet is a secure platform. If you'd like to use Google Meet, it's included in Hangouts now, and it is just as good. Yeah.
Well, and on the IT side, nothing's ever guaranteed, especially when it's a free service. Let's be frank, but it's a safer avenue as far as we know today.
Yeah. And you know what? The other thing that I kind of love that's been happening lately?
What?
I've been getting booby pics like all the times. It's great.
Oh, yeah? I'm not getting any booby pics.
I got one tonight just before we started recording the show from our friends in North Carolina.
Nice.
It was awesome. I'm not going to call them out by name, but they know who they are. They're amazing people. They're good friends of ours. We met them at Hito. And I got there were whatchamacallit candy bars all over her boobs. And she said, "Hey, I got my favorite candy bars in the mail today." And I'm
Love it.
There's candy in that picture.
I think I know who you're talking about now. I do.
I was really excited. I was like, what am I? I wonder if I should send her a picture of my hair.
Can I send her the progressive pics, like the before, during, and after?
Yeah.
Well, sold. That's
they will
happening.
Get a laugh out of it. It'll be
I'll also
good.
Send them my boobs just because I feel left out.
Oh, that will make his day.
That's the other thing I'm not doing. I haven't been sending any sexy photos. You know what I'm doing tonight? I'm taking naked pictures of myself.
I think you should.
Done.
I agree. I
don't know what I'll do with them, but I'm going to take them and then I'll decide.
Casual Swinger 2020. We support this message.
Huh? Sorry, I checked out there for a second.
She's thinking about boobies.
I was.
This whole thing, like the virtual conferences, the parties, the DJ streaming, the watch parties, the sexy pics, it's not a replacement for human contact. It really isn't.
No,
but it's the best we got.
It is, and again, adapting and survivability, there's a role here, and to see that and going, yeah, you're right. Thank you for what you're doing for the community. Thank you for keeping positivity out there. I'm ready to unhermit myself.
Yeah.
At least socially speaking.
I agree. And, we did a really fun thing with Kate from Swinging Down Under a week before last.
Yeah. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, we are. So she just released kind of a upcoming episodes thing. And she said that we did a truth or dare. And I sent her a message. I was like, really? Was that what that was? It was actually 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah, it was. I was like, I didn't get dared to do shit, and I gave them way too much personal information about my life.
Dirty things about
There's things they know that I don't know that you knew before we started that.
Well, the rest of the planet's going to know soon enough.
I have fucked up.
So tune into Swinging Down Under if you haven't. Those guys are awesome. They're good friends of ours, and they have an episode coming out where we actually, for the first time, join somebody specifically to be on their podcast. So we've recorded with Jay and Angie, who we fucking adore. But
Twice.
yeah, but it was just kind of hanging out, and they just took out a recorder and were like,
Oh, I was so hammered in Angie's truck. Oh my gosh. You can hear it when in my speech.
You and Jay were in the back seat just slurring words and
We were
rocking back
talking
and
in
forth.
cursive. Like there was no enunciation. It was all one long drawn out sentence of mumbles and grunts.
Yeah, it was. You know, do you think everything that's going on right now, do you think does it run deeper? Is it more than just about COVID?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What are you getting at?
Well, as far as the lifestyle goes, you know, when is it going to start up again? Who's going to be there? What are our options going to be? How are people going to act? I mean, they're talking about people on planes, you know, not being able to sit close to each other. I made a joke about inflating a condom and throwing it at somebody to fuck themselves with. What's going to happen? I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I know.
Well, welcome to why people are having problems, right?
Yes, because we want to know the whole story. You know, when you pick up a book, you have the option to read the ending, right? And figure out what's going to go on so you don't have to have anxiety and panic over it. I think that question is on a lot of people's minds. It's a wait and see. We have to be very patient with the environment we're in, and strive for a sense of normalcy. Once we're past this, and continue to adapt and fill our cups as best as we can. I think it's going to change a lot of things. I think there's going to be some hesitation and some trepidation when all these bans of travel and socializing are lifted, and the lockdowns are quote unquote over. I think a lot of people's mentality will adjust. I mean, think about our grandmothers grew up in the Great Depression, right? Did your grandmother like save her bacon grease and like do all these things, and like flour it's not just measured for baking accuracy, because everyone knows that chemistry behind baking is very important, but
couldn't get more of it.
But if you spilled flour on the counter like by accident, you scoop that up and put it back in the bag. Like it's a commodity, and it was very valuable back then. So I'm curious to see how everyone's behavior is going to change out of crisis mode, because some things stick and some things don't. It's hard to say.
That's
we'll
just
see.
crazy. So do you think that for our generation, which I honestly thought the seminal moment in my generation was 9/11. I really did. I thought that was the defining moment of my generation.
Mm-hmm.
And now this has lasted longer. I know there was a lot of stuff around it, and it's amazing. The most offensive thing I hear in the American media is never let a good crisis go to waste. And it's been repeated so many times, and it's nothing to do with what party said it, because I think all parties have done it. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying when anyone in power takes advantage of the way people feel, it really, and they all do it. Fuck them. They all do it. But I just think that it creates a situation where things get fucked up. And 9/11, it definitely happened, and it led us into wars that we're still in, and countries that we're still in, and people that are still dying. There's a listener that I get a chance to talk to. I'm just going to call him Catfish. He's a great dude. He reaches out to us every once in a while on Facebook, and we appreciate your service, sir. I know you're going to hear this at some point, and we are thinking about you. But, you know, these guys are there because of things like this. These seminal moments that happen that affect our freedom and affect our country and affect our consciousness and affect the way people think and affect the way people vote. And it drives me nuts to think that something like people dying of a virus becomes like vote worthy. Like what?
An opportunity to promote somebody's individual agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm uncomfortable having this conversation publicly.
I know you are.
Yeah, but just because I hold my beliefs very
It's not about
close to
the
the
beliefs.
vest.
I think the beliefs don't matter.
No.
Lives matter.
I think it does, but I don't think that there's going to be anything that's going to change that. You know, medias of all caliber across the board are entertainment.
You know what will carry us through all this?
What's that?
The nature of lifestylers. The reason why we said when we moved to Florida that we didn't want to make friends with anybody but lifestylers, and why we didn't have fucking friends for like 18 months.
Yeah. I think there's an innate kindness and community aspect to it. I think they're really good at persevering. I think they're really good at adapting. I think that they have a more humanitarian part of them. And maybe I'm just blessed with really great experiences with people inside the lifestyle. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I live in a vacuum. But I think the caliber of people that occupy the lifestyle space are more often than not better humans, statistically speaking.
I do. I honestly, I love people in the lifestyle. Even in, for me, I encompass, like, lifestyle encompasses people that watch, be watched, do share, don't share. A lot of our listeners, and I think you and I've talked about this before, a lot of our listeners aren't in the lifestyle at all.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
they
true.
think about it. Maybe it's, we had a listener send us a message this week, and he called it Theater of the Mind, which I loved.
Oh, yes. That one was so well written, by the way.
It was a really well written message. And he was awesome. I love that stuff. I love hearing from folks like that who talk about how this, affects them in different ways. And it's not about sleeping with somebody else. It's not about sleeping with somebody who's not your spouse or fulfilling fantasies. It's about engaging with people that light up that theater in your mind. And I think that in the lifestyle for us, these people are more open. They're more apt to talk. They're more apt to share.
Yeah, a little more self-aware.
I enjoy that. And, speaking of sharing, I realize we have no idea where this is going to go, but I know that these people are going to make things 1,000% better. We haven't been recording a lot lately. You know what we have been doing? And I have to give you all the credit in the world.
What's that?
I know you're looking at me like you have no fucking idea where I'm headed with this.
Nope.
But I am so proud to see the reaction of the lifestyle community to your playlists.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we did that. No, I didn't.
My ass, you did 99% of it. The only one that I did myself without your help, no one's seen because I haven't posted it yet.
Oh, that's such a good playlist. And you know what? It's just not a genre I occupy.
Oh, come on. It's my
a lot
jam.
of my time. It's so, let's be honest, hair bands, rock, I listen to a lot of rock music, but I didn't get it really, you have some deep tracks on there. And I know the songs and I love the songs, but I wouldn't been able to have pulled that playlist off. It's so good.
Hey, we got to give a little shout out to the Pusher real quick, because the Pusher actually posted on Twitter about it. He was doing laundry to one of your playlists.
Oh my gosh. And to me, those playlists are a little personal because they bring me back to a place in time that I was listening to all of that music so intimately. It again holds a special place in my heart. So thank you.
Let me tell you the place that it takes Mallory back to, just so you guys know. The place is to a place in time where she was just past those adolescent years where it was illegal to have sex with her, but she was probably doing it anyway. And the years before she became a functioning adult when her rent was fucking due. Okay, that's when it took her back to. Because when she's listening to these playlists.
Some of them predated puberty.
Oh, yeah. I walk into the kitchen and that ass is moving like a cyclone. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah. I would definitely be a mom of TikTok, just fucking breaking it down with spoon in one hand, wearing my apron. How low can you go?
Oh,
watch me
as
work.
low as your knees will let you, baby.
While they crack and pop, which is just so embarrassing.
So if you haven't checked out our new playlists on casualswinger.com, go down the left-hand side to lifestyle resources, click on the little plus sign, and go to casual playlists. We have playlists like Red Dirt Country, which is one that's like my bump, 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 bump heart space right there. I love it. Mallory's 90s, Dancing Her Ass Off, Life in Quarantine, Beach Chillin', Sexy R&B, Light Kink, and the newest one, Babies of the 80s.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's my MTV visual. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to add some other stuff in there. I got to add my hairband playlist. I know that's coming.
Did we have the cover songs on there yet?
Oh, covers is not up there yet.
Okay, I'm working on that one. I haven't listened to it all the way through.
Singer-songwriter is another one.
Yeah, singer-songwriters I'm working on.
If you guys haven't figured it out by listening to Casual Swinger, and I know there's 12 of you still listening to this episode at this point, music's our thing. We live for it. I mean, we've been watching every Friday night. We watch Wade Bowen do his Quarantine stream.
Yeah, and when I don't watch live, I'll go back and rewatch. There's a lot of independent artists out there and bigger artists that I'll go back and look at what they've put out there just for us. I mean, it's definitely worth the time, and it's all this free quote unquote live music that's available, and I've never seen so much of it penetrating social media. It's utterly fantastic. But going back to your music comment, that's kind of what really cemented our relationship
It
was
really
that
did.
commonality we had and the passion we have for music.
And I sent you Vegemite.
And you sent me Vegemite.
I did.
After
I mailed
played,
you Vegemite.
God, it was anyone out there 80s stripped. It's acoustic versions of 80s hits. And you really impressed me with that album, which is more about me than just about you. It was a great play. We had a really great night. It does. That's the night we had sex for the first time.
You threw it at me like I was pinned to the wall.
Oh yeah, you had my number. Oh my God, so hard. And then you went away. Like we lived, 1,100 miles apart. And then you sent a thing of Vegemite because we were listening to Africa, the acoustic version. And I was like, what the fuck is Vegemite? I was not cultured. I had no idea what it was.
We were
We
listening
were just
to
singing along.
Down Under.
Down Under, yeah.
Africa's on the album too, but Down Under is what we're listening to.
That's what it was.
And yeah, because right now Kate and Daryl are freaking out, going, "What the fuck does Africa have to do with Vegemite?"
I don't know. I should have not pounded that drink. It was a halvesy, and my bad.
That's awesome, but no, that was super fun. We had a really good time, and you definitely hit it like I was going to pay you at the end. It was awesome. And I really enjoyed all of it. But
so my experience with Vegemite, though, is disgusting. And I was like, he sent me fart in a can.
yeah, you opened it and gagged. I was very pleased.
It's yeast, I guess.
But fortunately for you, Penis Hut delivered from 1,100 miles away because I came down all the time to give you what
I made it worth your while.
You did. It was not bad. You still do. It's still kind of fantastic.
Thanks.
Thanks for that this morning, by the way.
You're welcome.
Now, what else do we have going on? In addition to playlists, I'm a gamer, and a lot of you guys don't know that. So if we have some listeners out there that are playing video games on the regular, I'm a Borderlands guy, I'm a Diablo guy, I'm a few other types of games. I do some Madden and, some other stuff. I'm not great, but I do have fun doing it. So if you've listened this far in the episode and you're playing some games, reach out. Let's see if we share a platform. And I'll jump in and play with you.
And there goes my sex life again.
Oh, whatever. I'm making people happy.
Okay.
I bang you in the morning. I play with them at night. It's a win. It's a win for everybody.
Okay, as long as I get my bangs.
But don't forget books. And we are working on casualtoys.com and watching some bad television. This has been a funky episode for us. We've just done a little back and forth and having, conversation that's a little more raw and a little more real than we have in a while.
Yeah.
But I dig it. This is good. I needed this.
This is so good. I'm so glad you decided to do this. I've missed it.
I do what I'm told. You just have to tell me more.
In my experience, telling you anything is not a wise approach.
Well, we're going to come back in just 2 shakes, and we're going to talk Mallory's box. Well, her toy box anyway. We're going to come back and talk about some cool stuff you can wear, and then we'll get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, back in 2 shakes. You've been listening to Casual Swinger.
Hey guys, welcome back to Casual Swinger. This is Mallory.
I'm Mickey.
And we have a short segment for you today, Mallory's Toy Box. And I really enjoy this product. I'm very excited to bring it to the table.
I love your box.
You do?
Yes. It's always got cool things in it.
Yes. Do you love my nipples?
They're fun.
Okay, because this is
and delicious.
This is for your nipples.
Really? You're going to do a Toy Box episode on nipples?
I am. And here's why. I'm really big into cute little sexy outfits. I love my pasties. And I love unique items that are affordable. And if I had to put this under a category for Mallory approved or Mallory's favorites, it would definitely be at the top of the best under 20. And here's why. There is a company called, and I'm gonna butcher this, but we'll have this in the show notes. Bijoux de Nip. They do
like a French by Bijoux.
Bijoux de Nip. I cannot do accents. So, it's that was horrible. But what I love about them is they're unique. They're a little burlesque style with some flair to them. Like there's one with like feathers that I absolutely love, beads, tassels, but they're not like a lot of the other mass-produced ones out there. At least they don't seem that way. They're beautiful. Mine have lasted multi-uses, but they also have not just the pasty sticky version of it, but they also have one that is what they call
painful.
It's like it's kind of like a nipple clamp. They call it a tweezer clamp. But if anyone has tried nipple clamps and are like, holy shit, that was too intense, I hate that. This is like a beginner version of that because of the style and the tension.
It's like a
in
nipple
them.
snuggie.
Kind of. It's you can still wear it on the nipple, but it's not as intense. The intensity comes from basically how hard you squeeze it or slide it up and down. So they still hang there if you have, kind
of like a bolo tie. Kind of like you got to tuck it. You gotta
think the like tweezers, like what I pluck my eyebrows with.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shape of the clamp, right?
Okay.
But I wouldn't even call it a clamp. It's more just natural tension.
Okay.
And if you like a little more grip there, you can slide it. I believe it's up to give it a little more tension. If you like it looser, you can slide it down.
Keep those away from my nipples, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Not everybody's into it, but I love that they stay. They're not painful for me. They give me a little bit of a tingle. And again, they're really pretty unique. Some of them are like the bedazzled, like rhinestone jewel things. Some of them are pearl. They're light, so they don't feel very heavy on your boob when you're wearing them. So in that respect, they're multi-purpose. But just for the regular pasties, again, I've gotten multi-uses out of a lot of these because sometimes they're like one and done. And I love my pasties. Do not get me wrong. The Pasties is a great brand. But in most cases, they're one and done because the oils from your skin, the adhesive isn't always up to par. Like you can use toupee tape and make them reusable.
Then half your titty comes off with them, though, right?
Well, yeah, it is a little disturbing to watch. Like I'm sure you've seen me peel it off and like it's like a cartoon. Like my tits stretch out like 18 inches. It's awful.
It's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad you're entertained.
I'm having a great time.
But we're gonna put two of my favorites in the show notes. They're all wonderful, and this is a lot of fun to do, especially for you folks that are like taking sexy pictures at home. I've seen a lot of sexiness on Twitter lately. They pair really great with like a G-string, thongs, panties, shorts, you name it.
Tuxedo.
Yeah, sure. You want to pair with your tuxedo? That's fine. That's totally fine.
Honestly, Bijoux du Nup carries. They actually is a jewelry line that we carry. So
That's
they have
correct.
a lot of other stuff, some anklets and wrist stuff that they do that is really neat.
It is.
If you haven't looked at our jewelry line on Casual Toys, there's other stuff, but obviously, like you said, you really like those tassels that they carry. But I think they have, we just actually sold some to a listener who bought a bracelet that was a Bijoux bracelet.
That's true. And what I love about these is because of, how we acquire them or whatever it may be, comparatively speaking, we've priced them really well. I mean, they're between like $12 and like $19.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to break the bank.
You
and
can
I think
say it.
that
We're cheaper than everybody else.
We are. Well, I just don't want to sound like salesy and like, I don't know. That just weirds me out.
Because we don't do this to make money.
No, we don't. But like when I bought them before we had the toy store, I think I paid $26 to $28 per pair.
No, we don't do this. We don't want to fleece you guys. We fucking love you guys. This is literally how we support our podcast. This is so so you can actually do Patreon with one of the other content creators that we love. We want you to give them that money
Absolutely.
on Patreon. But if you want to buy some shit, buy it from us. That's why we do Casual Toys.
Yes. And then I'm picky and I like giving you guys good things.
Yeah, that's right. We buy good stuff. So, hey, this has been Groundhog Day. We have one more episode in season 22, and I think that we should do something epic. I don't know what, but I know you have a look on your face. So I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if, you're going to like paint my toes on the air or whatever.
It's a surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise to me too. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find us one more time? We'll get the hell out of here at 59 minutes. This is beautiful.
Thank you guys for your support and your patience with us during this time. We apologize for being delayed and having our heads up our ass, and thank you for joining us again. As you know, we're Casual Swinger everywhere. Casualswinger.com. Feel free to shoot us a message, look us up, ask us questions about traveling or about the toy store. Send us a message, podcast@casualswinger.com. And if you love us, please give us a review on iTunes. And again, we're Casual Swinger everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I said Instagram.
Yeah, you can say it again. That's fine.
Facebook.
People get it.
And on all the dating sites, Double Date Nation, Quiver, SDC, SLS, and Cassidy.
I'm going to get her another drink, folks.
No, I
This
need
has
food.
been Groundhog Day, and we have had a great time doing it with you guys. You know, regardless of whether we're on time or we're late, we're always casually yours. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks. You've been listening to Casual Swinger.